family that games together would like to apologize for the audio quality of this episode. We suffered some technical difficulties in recording episodes 10 through 14, which resulted in a much decreased quality to the audio recording. We have edited this episode as best we can to minimize the effect, and though we have had to cut out more than we would have liked, we were able to keep intact all the events needed to follow the story. We would also like to thank @DNAP17 for his help in repairing this audio as best he could. Thank you for your continuing support of the D&D Grandma and the family that games together. Now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to the D&D Grandma and the Family That Games Together podcast. For more about our history, please check us out on Twitter @D&D Grandma or on Facebook @The Family That Games Together. We hope you have as much fun listening to our story as we did creating it. Now, sit back and enjoy. Okay, and we're back. All right, so you four, Sasham, Tor, Nulara, and your new friend Umbra, are in the carriage with Wendell, and on your way back to the manor house. Sasham is attuning to this armor that she's holding, this nice piece of splint armor, very shiny. For the purposes of this, we are going to come back to you guys. We're going to start with Ember, who just sprouted wings and flew away. So, Ember, what exactly is your plan here?
Plans to wander the streets, alone and sad, with nothing.
Okay. Would you like an aluminum cup and some gloves with holes in them? Maybe a garbage can to start a fire in? Is that what you'd like? Okay, so what? You're wandering the streets once your wings run out?
Yeah, once my wings run out, I want to be on a rooftop.
Okay.
And then I want to sit on a rooftop and I want to talk.
Okay, what do you say?
I didn't like that.
I didn't think you would. You look, and now your companion, your angel companion, on the rooftop next to you.
Thank you for helping me get out of there.
I didn't do much. You helped yourself. And so did your companions. I told you you belonged with them.
I don't like what happened. It really scared me.
I know.
And not for role-playing purposes, but essentially I just try to cry on her shoulder and I kind of relive everything that happened.
She enfolds you and holds you to her heart. And holds you to her bosom. And it's warm and it's comforting.
And I definitely ugly cry. I want to know more about the little girl. I want to know if she's safe now.
I think you freed her.
I'd like to make her something then.
I'll help you.
Thank you for making me feel better. I'm really afraid I can't do this anymore.
You can.
I'm afraid I'm going to hurt all of them by living in that house.
You won't. They'll help you. Trust them.
I trust you to keep my fire safe.
Trust them.
All right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna walk back.
Okay, you make your way down off the rooftop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
However, I can. I don't know how I did. But it might be like Ferris Bueller. Excuse me. Walking through living rooms, but I want to get down off the rooftop and walk in the streets.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll a check for it. I'll say you take as much time as you possibly need to do it. And are you making your way straight back to the manor house?
I guess not really. As I'm walking down the street, I want to go... Is there a marketplace that I could buy something?
There is a marketplace. You're in the lower city. Getting late afternoon, so a lot of them are starting to close up shop for the day because the sun's starting to go down.
Can I get a candle somewhere?
Yeah, that's easy enough. Or to buy a candle.
Okay. I don't think I have any money on me.
Can't get a candle.
Oh, I do. I have money on me. I have my little pouch.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be about 2 copper.
Okay. I'll get a little candle. Then I'll walk back to the house.
Okay.
I know it'll take longer. I think they'll be there already. But I just want to go, and I want to go to my room and close the door, and I want to put the candle down. Can I see if I can carve
I'm going to stop you there. We'll come back to you. 'Cause I'm trying to keep the timeline as coordinated as possible. Okay, so now you guys are on your way in the carriage, on your way back to your cottage on the
And their cottage is where within the city?
on the it's on the island in between the upper and lower city. That's where the mayoral complex is. That's where the manor house is, where the mayor lives and the council does their meetings and does business. And there's a long island where all the servants and the people who are employed by this by the mayoral house live in their little cottages. And there is a nicer one set up for the resident adventurers.
Okay.
That is where they are. And that is where Wendell drops you off. He's going to ride right up to the front door.
Right. I'm going to ask him, since I'm still under this spell.
Which he would have noticed immediately.
Of course, and he was
So
smart enough.
this conversation would probably happen in the carriage. What the hell happened to you? That's probably what would have gone on.
I would have smacked him.
I don't know.
But I do need to know where I can go to have this reversed.
I'll certainly ask. I'll ask the mayor or I'll ask Norman. I'll see. I'll see what we can do for you. I'll be as quick as I can.
Poor Wendell.
I know she's so mean to him.
We make her nuts.
You put Wendell through his paces, man. You really did. Poor Wendell.
Wasn't it last session or something that I saw Wendell and I was like, not now, Wendell!
Yeah.
And all he was doing was saying hello. He was like, good morning. And he was like, not now, Wendell.
Poor guy. He just
Okay.
takes a breath and we get
So he's going to drop you off at your house. If there's anything anyone wants to do, just jump in and let me know. If you don't, I'm just going to continue the narrative.
I want to check out if there's any special.
Define special.
Something that adds an axe.
Wants to go to a magic shop.
No, magic weapons are good. It's a matter of
Maybe put some something special on it.
That would-
Some javelins.
that would take if you want to have a weapon that you already have enchanted,
Right.
that would take a while. You're better off either seeing if maybe there's a magic shop with something you can use, or just in the course of adventuring if you pick up a magic weapon. Umbra, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I don't stay here. I have a room at the Drunken Eagle.
Ah, the drunken eagle.
I mean, I know they're my charges now. I know I'm assigned to them, but there's two things I want to do. I want to go back to Drunken Eagle,
Okay.
and then along that way, am I right that I have a drop point, right, for Sparrow?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to relate the circumstances that I came upon them, that we basically torched a house on the outskirts of town, and I want to basically drop it, and I want to go back to my mission. So I'm just going to say, okay, got them out of the torched house, they're back in their room, and, I still want to go after this warehouse that I was scouting. And does he have any new information on that? Or can we on the Blue Ring headquarters?
That's easy enough. On your way back, you'd say your goodbyes to the group and just however it is you do.
Is this the same town that we had the issues with the bar?
That's the same bar. She's staying at
She's
the
staying
same
at
bar.
the same bar that we
Yep.
had.
It's
That
the
we sat
same
down.
bar.
Okay.
Yep. One she was sent to.
I'm not evil. I told you I'm.
She's getting
I don't
information
think
for us.
I'm
She's an undercover operative.
I'm
Yeah.
an undercover
Yeah.
operative,
Yeah.
so this is my cover. I can't be really
With us.
hanging out over in Mayorland.
Okay.
I'm supposed to have
That's
criminal
what I thought.
contacts.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
So I'm going back to Drunken Eagle.
On your way back, you do find a drop point where you relay all of that information.
Is it only in the bird's nest that's my drop point, or is it, or do I have ones around the city?
There's ones around the city. Sometimes they'll pop up and you just spot them because you know you can't. You know how the aviary communicates. And you'll go, that wasn't there yesterday. And you'll just know by the way it's set up
Okay.
that it's a drop point. Even though to the naked eye, someone who's not trained,
Aviary. That's what I couldn't tell them earlier.
yeah.
Sorry, I have to retcon something. You asked me about the fact that I worked for the group, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm in a group or whatever. It's called I'm in the aviary. It's the name of the network, right? We are all birds. So my contact is Sparrow. He is
What
the
is
guy's
your
thing.
What is your contact name?
My contact name is Black Heron.
Black Heron.
And am I correct? You've
You said
never
that because it
you've
would
never
remember
met Sparrow.
easier, like,
I have
shouting.
never met Sparrow, but I know he is
Seen
in
it a couple
government and
times,
he
right?
leaks us information so that we can research and act on it.
My current assignment is that I am scouting places that I know to be strongholds for the Blue Ring, and I think I finally narrowed in on what could possibly be their headquarters in this small warehouse down in Lower City. And when I finally went in for the kill to actually get some information on this warehouse, I was reached out to by Sparrow and got a note to go find you guys.
That's really
I don't want to totally abandon my mission.
For the sake of this, we'll say that conversation happened before, because you're not there right now. So,
I'm
but for
pretending that I don't
the
know.
sake of the narrative, you can know. We'll just say that happened earlier. Okay. So, Black Heron's Umbra says her goodbyes. You do find a drop point on the way back to the Drunken Eagle, and you stick your note in there about what just happened and returning to your mission. Go back to your room.
Yeah.
You have your supper, you have your drinks brought up to you, and you have a night's rest.
Yeah.
As you're attuning to your armor, Sasham, and you're waiting for Wendell to come back with whatever help he can find, is when Ember returns. And you say you just walked straight in.
Walk straight in. Don't say hi. Just walk directly to my room.
And
I'm going to close the door. I want to sit on my bed, and I want to try to carve a likeness into the candle.
okay,
That might look like the girl.
Ilyana?
Mhm.
Okay. Make a dexterity check.
And that one. I cut the candle in half, apparently. I don't even know. I'm like, oh, it broke in two.
It's a vaguely humanoid shape.
Okay.
It's more the emotion you put into it rather than the artwork.
Can I also add her name next to it then?
Yeah, you can do that.
Her letters going down.
Sure, you can do that.
When I realize it sucks ass, I'm just going to carve.
You can do that. As that's happening, you all do hear a on the door of your cottage. Hello? I brought help.
Oh, it's wonderful. Okay, I'll open the door.
Oh, that's wonderful.
You open the door, annoyed, and
Yeah.
Wendell is there. And standing behind Wendell is the very regal, noble form of Lord Baron Volston Cormion. Oh, good evening, everyone. I heard that you needed help with healer.
Yes, that would be me.
What happened to you?
You don't want to know.
You came across a ghost.
I did.
I've seen worse. I can help with
You can.
it. With that,
I'm willing to try anything. Come in.
and with that, he does a very like that across your cheek,
Mm.
and you just see a very faint glow emanate from Sasham. And when the glow dissipates, she looks normal again.
I know I don't see it, so I have to find a mirror.
You find a mirror, yeah.
I can't believe
You're back to
this.
yourself.
And my strength feels good. Wow. How did you do that?
It is a talent.
Wow.
We all have talents, don't we?
True. Are
You-
you a wizard or a sorcerer?
No, I just have some innate ability I was always born with.
I need to keep up my speed diet. Oh, I thank you.
Oh, this is my pleasure. You come out of the room? Oh, hello, Miss Alicia. It looks like you could use a little help yourself.
Can't we all?
That's true. He does the exact same thing, just lightly with the fingers down your cheek. You get a radiant glow surround Ember. The glow dissipates, and she looks normal again. Is that all? Is the rest of you okay?
We had a long day.
I can see that.
I think we should have dinner now. Would you like to join us?
If you're offering, I never turn down an invitation. It's one of the many reasons why I always carry a spare bottle of wine with me.
Are you kidding me?
From my home vineyard. This is Wildenheim wine.
You just walk around with wine in your pocket?
What do you-
somebody invites him for dinner.
What do you think was in all the chests I brought with me from Wildenheim?
Are you enjoying your stay here?
Very much so. I really like the city. I think they'll stay a while.
Do you have any, you've been making contacts, right?
Yes, the council has been proven very helpful. They've been letting me sit in on meetings, and we've been making some decisions together. It has been very pleasant.
Are you bringing more things in from your country?
That is the plan, yes. I'm going to start bringing in some goods, and
Like this wine?
yes, starting with this wine. I hope you like it. And he pours everyone glasses.
Mhm.
It's really good wine. It's a drier wine, more like an earthy kind of taste to it, but it is good.
I
Strong.
didn't drink a lot of it because I had a bad day.
Okay.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Hmm.
I have like 2 glasses.
Okay. And you all have it's a nice visit.
Okay. Give us any insight into any of his friends or people.
What insight are you looking for? What would you be asking him?
Doctor who does the experiments.
Dr. Balthazar.
Yes.
Well, he's not exactly a friend of mine. I just know that he's a noble in the upper city who is apparently doing some sort of experiment with animals. I don't know much else. He's some kind of study that he's doing. I don't know details. It is science. It bores me. I prefer the finer things in life.
Why women and so?
And men. Why just women? Why limit yourself?
I ask him where I could find a shop that has any special weapons.
You can, if you wish. You're going to ask him about that?
Yeah.
What are you looking to do? You want
I want a special axe.
a two-handed great axe?
Yes.
Let me ask around. I'll see what I can do for you. Well, I would like to thank you very much for a wonderful meal and a pleasant evening. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to return to my quarters back in the manor house, pay my last visit to Lady Joba, and then retire for the evening.
What do you mean your last visit?
My last visit for the day, I mean.
Oh, you see her often?
I try to see her daily. She is not improving as quickly as people wish. I'm offering what help I can. I spend a little time with her every night.
Okay, do you think that they would allow me to visit with her tomorrow?
Last I heard that she was still receiving visitors. I'm sure you could.
Well, we've just kind of been giving her space because we don't want to intrude upon her rest.
You could come to the manor house tomorrow morning and ask. It would be their decision.
Okay.
In that case, I will bid you all a good evening.
Good evening.
After he leaves and closes the door, I'm going to say to Nulara, I think at least me and you should go tomorrow morning to see Joba.
I will accompany you. But I still think he's just, and he's not an open book. He's a facade. And there's more to him that meets the eye. That's my opinion.
I think if you guys want to have a conversation now about it, I think we need to have a discussion about what we should do with the blue. I know that you're anxious to go to that doctor's house to stop the animal cruelty, but if our new friends have any insights into the new interesting items, do you know what I mean? Like if she has new insights into the blue ring, maybe we should accompany her, or at least offer our assistance to her. And if she's planning on taking down a stash house, we should join her.
Okay. I don't want it to be a big delay before we deal with the animal cruelty.
Okay, that'll be the first on our list.
Because at least we know what we're going to do with the animal. We got to get to the doctor. We have to find out where he's at, his labs, if he was graduating to bigger animals.
There's a question for you.
Experiment.
Yeah, but what kind of experiment?
We don't know that. We have to find all that out. I don't think a lot of people are going to give us answers like the street talker with the bottle of wine.
No, I don't think so.
Not a lot of people are not going to give us some.
The wine was good.
In that case, I'm very tired. I want to go to bed.
I am too.
Victoria wants to know why none of you asked her about her wings, but okay. Everyone just assumes, like, how'd you get home?
I think we all forgot about the wings, but now that you really,
I think you'll remember later when I sprout them again. You're like, that's right, she's got wings.
Okay, so bed for the evening?
I think so.
Yes.
I am going to kneel down at my bedside table and put the candle with the little girl's name carved into it and the stick figure. I'm gonna put the name front.
Okay.
I'm gonna light the candle and I'm going to put my head down. I'm gonna do a little prayer for her.
Okay.
And essentially, I hope she's at peace and that any of the spirits out there are guiding her to a safe and loving and warm place.
Okay.
And once that's gone, then I'll go to bed.
Okay. It burns down. It takes a little while. It takes about an hour, maybe an hour and a half for the whole thing to burn down to the end. And you do get a sense of calm, a sense of peace when it's over, and you're able to put your head down and get a nice rest. Spell slots, hit points all come back. A long rest.
Okay.
Umbra. When you wake up in the morning, there is an envelope slid under your door.
Okay, great.
So I take it, open it up.
Okay. As soon as you flip it around to the side where it opens up, there is a wax seal on it with the image of a sparrow on
Okay.
the seal. Pop it open, and it essentially says, "Aviary watching the warehouse.
Okay.
For now, stay close to the adventurers.
Okay.
They'll need you in the coming days. We'll await further instruction."
Oh, we
Essentially,
instruction. Okay. So I want to do two things. I'll I mean, I don't have a lot of
That's
belongings,
annoying.
but I'll wrap up a little bit that I have in my pouch.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my way through Lower City. As I do, I'm a little concerned that I only have 20 arrows. I don't
Mhm.
have a lot of weapons or whatever, so I'm gonna stop by to see if I can get maybe some arrows that do a little bit more damage.
That's going to be hard to find in the lower city.
In the lower city.
Most of your magic shops are in the upper city.
All right, so I'll basically pack my stuff up and start heading over to where they are.
Okay.
In their home, but I do want to use my kit, my Master of Intrigue,
Mhm.
to, I mean, not adjust my height or anything like that, but maybe like put a wig on or just change my appearance a little bit so that as I approach, I have my common clothes off and I have my hooded like cape
Okay.
on now, just so that I look a little different as I come to the house.
Okay. Roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier, and your proficiency bonus.
10.
Okay. You put on what you're satisfied is a pretty good disguise.
Yeah.
And
No, not to hide myself from them, just
Yeah.
like as I walk through
I got you.
the area.
And you begin the trek through the lower city toward the main island, to the island in the center where Wendell dropped them off. As she's making her way, morning comes. What everyone's doing? What's your agenda?
I want to wake up. I want to do some yoga. I want to take a shower. I want to eat some oatmeal. I want to meet up
Oatmeal.
with Nulara and go. Nulara, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Does anybody else want to come with us to see Joba? Because you don't have to. Essentially, it's like across the street, right? We just want to go and talk to her because I want to know if she's not feeling well. Maybe we can bring her some flowers or something.
Or she can use a healing kit.
Well, Jordan wants to see if he can find I guess a magic
Enhance.
shop
Yeah,
that's enhanced.
Mhm.
Some the magic shop
We
somewhere.
already-
Oh, you want to join me?
Yeah, I'll join
Oh,
you.
Okay, so I think we should coordinate.
Yeah,
what
we'll
time
be
are
back.
you planning on getting to our house? Are you trying to be there like first thing in the morning, or?
Well, when I wake up, yeah.
Oh, so if we dilly dally, you might be there already.
Dilly.
Well, it would take you a bit of time to walk through the lower city. Take you a couple hours,
Oh, okay.
which you can do. It's just that this will be happening before you get there.
Oh, okay.
To the manor house.
Yeah, I also, if you guys say that that's what you're gonna do, I'm gonna say wait for us because I think we should spend some gold on some.
Then that's fine.
we'll hang back and wait for you to come back.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
because
fine.
we just really want some healing potions.
I still got a tune and I have things.
Sure.
I'm gonna do some meditation.
Okay.
We do some yoga together.
Alright.
Okay.
You know what? While we're out, count all our money because we don't really know what we have, right?
Mm.
Theoretically, so I'm gonna say take this time to count and we'll
And find a place to store it.
And
That's
you-
it.
Yeah. So that loot
And
that
that
I gave you
helps.
guys, this is when you would actually inventory it and know what you have. Nulara and Ember heading to the manor house. You walk in the front door of the now familiar house. Coming out to greet these guests at the door, you'd see a handmaiden, a very familiar face. You see the young face of Gwendolyn.
Yeah.
Ember?
Oh,
Oh, hello.
hi, honey. And I walk over and give her a hug.
She gives you a slightly uncomfortable, but kind of wants to hug you back type thing. Yeah, what can I help you guys? What can I do for you?
We wanted to see Joba.
Oh, Lady Joba hasn't been doing well.
No, so what's going on? What's wrong with her?
Oh, no one knows.
So, okay, let's go talk to her, because sometimes, like, is she getting outside and getting sun?
No, she hasn't left her bedroom.
Let's go and see what we can find out.
Leads you upstairs, down the hallway into one of the rooms that will be keeping her in. Opens the door, and in the room, you see standing off to the side. Well, there's one handmaid in there, like next to Joba, just watching over her, and Joba's laying there with her eyes closed, but you can tell she's not asleep. She just has her head back resting. Standing in the back of the room, you do see very quiet, very stoic Norman. The Lord Baron, Bolston, Cormion is there. Who enters the room first?
I would say the handmaiden.
No, after her. Who goes in behind her?
Me? Okay. I'll
You go in first? Make a perception check. Just so you know.
Yeah, twisted that.
10.
Phone on you? 10 was exactly the number you needed. Well, just sending Nulara her perception check. Okay, so you're entering the bedroom.
Uh-huh. And I only see Norman.
Norman and Lord Cormion are in the back, sort of just, you can see Norman is very upset, and Cormion appears to like have his hand on his shoulder and just like is talking to him gently.
Okay.
And Lady Joba's laying there. She's all bundled up.
Okay.
Cormion looks over and he just does a subtle good morning. You can tell he's nobility. He understands when it's not right. Hello, like it's a little bit more of a subdued moment. You got it?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk over, and she's bundled up, but can I like take her hand?
Sure. Eyes open. Oh, hello.
How are you?
Great.
Sorry we haven't come earlier to see you. We've been asking about you, and we've been worried.
It's okay. They're taking care of me as best they can.
How do you feel? Can you describe it to me?
Just very weak.
What does she look like?
Pale.
Sweaty? Fever?
Not very sweaty, just very pale. Bundled up from, like, ears to toes. Like, totally bundled up, blanket, almost swaddled.
I'm gonna say to the gentleman in the room,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, would you gentlemen mind leaving us alone with the patient? We would like to do an examination of her, and it would be inappropriate to have men in the room.
Norman right away says, "Oh, well, of course, my lord, let's leave the ladies to it." And Cormion is, "Oh, okay, I don't understand what you think you could do that we can't, but that's fine."
Sometimes it takes a
Just
woman's
get out.
touch.
Oh, there's no reason to be impolite, Nulara.
Huh?
And with
That
that,
was just
him and Norman make their way out, and
door locked.
it closes.
It closes, it doesn't lock.
You don't hear it lock.
When we got there to the room, there was Norman.
Norman,
Uh-huh.
Cormion and a man-maiden. She would have left without question.
he would have left. So who's in the room right now?
After Cormion and Norman left, nobody. Just you guys.
Just-
You guys and Joba, yeah.
Okay.
This could get really interesting right now. I wasn't expecting this to go this way. Go ahead.
Because somebody poisoning her, little by little.
To what end? I
I
don't
don't know.
But we should. I don't like it. So I think we
I
should
don't
just
either.
examine her.
Yes.
Maybe heal her.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Are you examining her?
Okay, I'd like to examine her.
Okay.
What do I have to go
Are
I'm
you-
going to stand by the door.
Okay, so you're not assisting her in the examination.
I am not going to. I'm going to insist by making sure that no one comes to the door.
Roll a d20 and add your medicine bonus.
13.
Okay. Please describe the examination. What are you going to be
The first thing I'm going to do is check for her heart.
doing? Okay. She's swaddled. She's basically bundled.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to unbundle her.
Okay.
Like a bundle baby.
Oh,
I'm going to take
mhm.
all that. And I'm, with whatever tools are available to me, or instruments, I'm going to try to check her vitals, which I try.
Her heart seems weak but steady.
Eyes.
Glassy.
Do I hear anybody at the door?
Bags. You do see bags. Make a perception check.
And color.
Pale. Very.
13.
Breathing.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear
Breathing?
anything.
Steady. Labored.
Like wheezing.
Mhm.
I'm going to come over and examine with her now.
Okay.
Does she have a fever?
Make another check with advantage. Your medicine bonus was 3, so
19.
Plus 3?
Give it to us, baby.
Yeah.
okay. Well done on the checks, and this is the nature of being a DM. Sometimes things you want to save come out early because the players do things. Check her up, down, and sideways. You check all of her vitals. And when you unswaddle her, on the inside of her left thigh, you see 2 puncture marks.
Are they right next to each other?
Right next to each other. They're about maybe an inch apart. They look like two needle marks.
Needle marks.
Give or take. They look like they're two very fine puncture marks.
I think you should dump a heal in her.
Okay. A healing kit.
No, a kit would be more of like I would heal her, cure wounds,
Cure wounds?
see how she feels.
Okay. I want to cure.
Okay, you cast your wounds. Roll 2d8. What level?
2.
2d8s and add your wisdom modifier. Don't ever
8.
apologize. Don't ever apologize for going where you think the story took you. Don't ever apologize for that.
8.
8 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You cure it. The wounds appear to scab up a little bit, but there's no discernible effect to her. She's still pale, breathing still labored.
Is there a way for us to be able to check to see if it's poison or an effect or a spell? Does she...
Make an Arcana check.
Would cure wounds be immediate?
Cure wounds would have worked right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
16.
This is the effects over time of being slowly drained by a vampire. And she is beyond cure wounds. You are looking at the very least, I mean, and once again, podcast listeners, don't rules lawyer me. The way I would adjudicate this would be at a bare minimum, you would need remove curse and some sort of spellcasting check. Or a greater restoration, which you don't have either of those yet.
Okay.
Because this is beyond just the damage of the bite. She is in the process of being turned.
How long do you think we have? Like, how long do we have?
She's on the downslope of where she needs to. The corner has been turned, and she's on her way toward more vampire than human.
All right. So I say, how is she during all of this? Does she know what we're doing?
Yeah, she's just kind of letting it happen. She's been poked and prodded by so many people at this point. She's just like, all right,
that
whatever.
all of this between me and her, Nulara, is as nonverbal as we can. Just looks and glances that we both kind of have a general understanding. I'm not going to say anything aloud at this point. And I think we should bundle her back up. Does she look clean? Like she's been washed?
She looks clean. Yes, they've been. Yeah, her upkeep is okay. I mean, she's haggard and she's clean. They've been cleaning her. Yeah.
Okay. Is the room bright or dark?
Bright-ish. There's a light curtain over the windows, so it's muted light coming in.
Okay, I'm gonna open the curtain. I'm gonna open the window so she can get fresh air.
Okay.
I'm going to like bundle her so it doesn't look like we saw anything, right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna say that we should just say, open the window, fresh air, sit her up in bed, and we're gonna go make some soup. And we'll have the maids hand her some soup, and we did our best, and we'll check in with her later.
Okay. Make a dexterity check with advantage because she's helping you.
20.
Oh, looks pretty good.
Looks like we didn't.
Yeah,
really
looks pretty
disturb
good.
her,
Looks
right?
damn good.
Okay. I don't mind if the top looks like we opened up her chest and let her arms breathe or anything like that.
Mm.
I just want to make it think like we never even looked at her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you leave the room at that point?
Yes. We'll walk out and we'll call them back in and we'll say, we'll check back in with her later. We open the window, some fresh air might help.
You hear behind you, I couldn't agree more. And Cormion and Norman are making their way back. They're speaking to the Gwendolyn and the other handmaiden. I always found that fresh air was a good pick-me-up as well. Especially the brisk air in Wildenheim.
Oh, our party is expecting us.
Yes.
And we do our best just to walk away.
Okay, so you make your way back out of the room, down the stairs, back to your cottage. As you pass, you see Wendell there doing his normal routine, combing the horse's mane and... Oh, good morning!
Not now, Wendell.
One of those days?
Kinda, Wendell.
Alright. I don't have anything on the docket, so if you need me to take you anywhere, just come back.
Thanks, Wendell.
Bye!
But I stop
Okay.
and I walk back to him.
Wendell?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you bringing her with you?
Of course.
Okay.
You follow me.
Sure.
Okay. I want to ask him a question.
What can I do for you? Yes.
You know that Joba is very sick.
I do, yes. Very sad. She's a sweet lady.
I want to know, and I want you to answer me truthfully. I saw you coming out of Cormier's room, and you came out and you left the house immediately and went outside. Wait, it was you. And Cormier wasn't in the room. He was with us in the room. We had to chase him out. So, you were in that room and there was nobody there. There was a purpose to your visit, and we want to know.
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's mom talking right there. That wasn't
I
my
know.
character.
Vinny's balls just shriveled up a little bit. Oh, man. Make an intimidation check.
Woo! Well, you know what? Interrogation is good. I used to interrogate him.
Can I give like a menacing?
Yeah, you know what? Because you scared the DM on that one. I'll give you advantage. Roll 2 d20s.
Oh, 2?
Yeah, roll 2 and take the higher.
Nice roll.
Can you believe it? 4 and 5. 13 and 14. So I gotta take a 14 and what in my...
14 and your intimidation bonus. 13, 14 is fine.
I don't have any.
You have nothing, no intimidation bonus with just a 14?
I do though. That's funny.
I mean, no disrespect, Lady Nulara, but you might be mistaken. I don't. I would never dream to go into the Lord Baron's room.
I'm not mistaken. Think before you open your mouth.
Miss Nulara, not by the manor house. I'll come by later if you want me to, but not here. Not now.
I think
We should let him come
there might be
later.
people watching this right now. So I think we should put some smiles on.
Okay,
wave
we'll
at
expect
nicely
you.
and walk out.
We'll expect you in an hour.
Okay. Pause on that. Looking for a magic shop.
Supposed to go with them, but I'm pretty sure we took too long and they left without
No,
us.
Stop because
you're
they're
not patient.
no.
Well, she is.
I'm not patient.
Okay. You're going into the upper city.
Right.
Make an investigation check.
16.
Okay. You do find a really nice armory called the Dragon's Armaments. It is manned by a human female with long, flowing red hair, similar to Thor's, but much finer. Like he's got thick, bushy, rugged hair. Hers is very well kept, very nice. Little, like, golden threads and braids keeping it.
She's cute.
Can I help you? I'm Rowena.
Well, my great axe, and I have some javelins, some special tips on.
Well, what she tells you is any mundane weapon, which she has regular mundane weapons everywhere. There's short sword, long sword, great axes, everything. Anything you can think of. You can take one of those great axes and enchant it, but it's going to take over the course of about maybe 2 weeks. What she has in stock right now, that because most of these magic shops, their business is done made to order.
Right.
You order a weapon, they enchant it, and whatever's left over would be things that either weren't picked up, things that were returned, things that were inherited. Yeah. What she has right now in stock that fits the description of what you're looking, she has one javelin of lightning, which will cost you 65 gold.
Is that one-time use?
It's a one-time use. She has one in stock right now. She's willing to make you more, and she's willing to enchant a great axe, but it's going to come big time. What you can leave with right now would be that.
That and then order maybe like 4 or 5 other javelins with fire.
What would the cost be?
The javelin of lightning would cost you 65 gold.
Right.
For 100 gold, we'll put a +1 enchantment on it. Which means it'll be +1 to attack and damage.
Right.
That'll take 2 weeks, and it will cost. It will cost 200 gold for a +2 enchantment. 10 weeks, and it'll cost 2,000 gold.
I'll take the one lightning.
The one lightning javelin,
Right.
okay.
I want another lightning spear.
Okay.
So 2. I took 1.
You take 1,
And
okay.
then do +1.
Okay. Taking into account labor, you can pick both up in 2 weeks for 275 gold.
Okay. We have that.
Okay. 65 gold now for the one javelin. Okay, so that's what you get now. Mark off 65 gold.
Minus 65 gold, and what's the other total?
275 for a +1 great axe, and another javelin of lightning.
That'll be another 65, right?
Well, it'll be 275 for both.
For both.
For the great axe and the javelin.
So we tell these guys what we did?
Yeah.
You're not getting anything like that?
No, because my great sword, I bonded with it at this level, so
Okay.
no need. And I got this armor,
Right.
so
Okay.
and I'm attuned to it. I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Keeping him company so he doesn't get in trouble. We'll head back to
To the manor house.
right.
To the cottage manor house.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna noodle the information to them. Has she arrived yet?
Yeah, you would have all have returned at about the same time.
Okay.
So you're all just getting there.
Okay. So if the 5 of us are there, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna noodle everything to everybody. Because I wasn't here, actually. What did you get? You got an axe?
He got a +1 great axe. Well, he right now he has a javelin of lightning. He ordered a second one along with a +1 great axe.
How much it's gonna cost?
Before we go anywhere, we need to get health potions.
So you're gonna wait the hour?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at this point it would be about a half hour because time has passed since you got there. Umber, you've shown up.
Okay.
They've shared all this information with you.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you about the blue ring and the information that you have. But I guess you're gonna noodles me.
Well, I mean, most of what I have is what I've told you already. I was recruited at a young age into Avery. They like me because I'm small and I can hide and I can go in and out quickly and get some information about where their location is and how they operate and that kind of.
You're gonna hang out with us for a little while.
So I, checked in with my contact Sparrow, and they said they've got the site that I've identified. They've got it covered and under surveillance. And I was told you guys are going to need me in the next couple of days, so here I am.
Did you hear that, Donkey?
Yeah.
Somebody get the door.
Come in.
You open the door, and Wendell's there, going like this.
Okay. I mean, we all follow you.
Go out, is that?
Yeah.
He takes out a scroll, and he begins casting.
And
Wendell. He begins casting,
To him again.
and there's this energy that surrounds everyone. Sorry, anti-magic field. Certain people know how to scry.
are we kind of on the front steps right now?
No, he was
pushed us
pushing
there.
you back into the
I
house.
thought he was saying come here to me.
No.
Wendell, who are you?
He looks at you, Umbra, and in Thieves' Cant he says, "You've done very well."
Oh.
And he whistles.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So he's my contact.
But we're gonna break.
Is he the spirit?
The Family That Games Together would like to take a moment to thank some of our sponsors. MasterOfTheGameProject.com, a blog dedicated to learning more about our favorite hobby, specifically the people who create the adventures that us gamers love to play. The Deck of Many, making quick reference cards for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, including weapons, NPCs, monsters, and spells, among others. Pre-order your animated spell cards today at deckofmany.com. Tabletop Loot, some of the best quality and best priced dice that we at the Family That Games Together have ever seen. Find them at tabletoploot.com. One can never have too many dice. And the Nerd Asylum, a group of amazing people playing a wonderful campaign called the Autumnford Chronicles. Check them out at thenerdasylum.com. To find out more about becoming a sponsor for the Family That Games Together, head over to our Patreon at the D&D Grandma on Patreon. A pledge of just $1 a month gets you access to Patreon-exclusive content, including interviews with the players, narrated fanfiction, and other goodies. Thank you for listening, and keep on rolling.